Welcome to the Avatar Slang podcast, your ultimate go-to for fiction, fandom, and nerd culture. Where they collide with politics, society, and everything in between. Before we dive in, follow the podcast on Spotify or whatever platform you vibe with so you never miss an episode. You watch on YouTube, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Sharing, reviewing, and spreading the word helps the podcast grow. And for more quick nerdy content, hit me up on TikTok and Instagram at avatarslang. That's avatar.slang. Now, today's episode is going to be fire. I'm wrapping it up with the incredibly talented Selina. She's a cosplayer, creator, and all-around nerd culture fan. We're diving into how cosplay became her creative outlet, what it's like repping fandoms as a black woman, her love for DC TV shows. Plus, we're talking about BlurCon, the best Comic Cons, and why shows like Abbott Elementary are killing right now. And I guess it's no shocker that we got into the Marvel versus DC debate, the current state of nerd culture, and her experience bringing iconic characters like Mystique and Catwoman to life. Now let's get into it. All right, so thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, before we get into the nerdy stuff, our boys won last night.
Yes, go Birds!
So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
You're from the DMV, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
From, not far from Baltimore.
So you never, how come you're not a Ravens fan?
Because, honestly, I did not get into football until I started coming to Philly all the time. Like, for work, I'm in Philly a lot. And just seeing, how the fans go crazy in Philly, it's different. It's so different than,
So it's not like that in Baltimore?
I mean, so I don't live in the city. I'm, in the suburbs here. But, I don't know. In Philly, it's just, I really do feel like it's the city of brotherly love. And, the fans out there just go so hard. And, the Ravens didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
That's fair. So let me give you some quick history. The Eagles were like this when we sucked. So we're just nuts. Even in the suburbs, in the deep suburbs, you'd be an hour away from Philly. They're nuts over there too. So even when we weren't even when we won the Super Bowl, we didn't win a playoff game for 10 years. And we were still sold out every Sunday.
It's amazing though, because that's a diehard fan. Y'all not just hopping to whatever team is winning or whatever.
No, we're offended when we see someone born here and they're just I'm into the Cowboys, I'm into this team. We get it. You gonna like what you like, but we be all right.
Yeah, my friends are definitely unhappy that I'm not a Commanders or Ravens fan, but I'm I like who I like. I'm in the process of relocating to the Philly area.
Yeah.
I'm I don't need to be a Ravens or Commanders fan. I ain't gonna be out here.
That's funny because it's a little different for me because I'm African. So I do understand you're just adopting your new home team. So I get it. So oh yeah, people are like, why'd you point out you're African? My parents adopted their new they didn't even know what football was. So I didn't even know my mom watched football. She called me to celebrate the fact we made the Super Bowl. So I'm like, oh, you're into this. And she was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've been here for 30 something years and these people never made the Super Bowl all like that. Now they made it 3 times in 8 years. How do you know that?
Oh, that's so cute.
You should. But
I was proud of myself even just for watching the game yesterday. Cause in the past, I was somebody who would go to Super Bowl parties and I'm all right, I'm here for the food. I'm here for the commercial.
Yeah.
I don't care about the football. But this time I'm the commercial sucked. I'm paying attention during the game and I'm damn, the Chiefs didn't even score the whole first half of the game. I was are they trying some tactic where they're going to try to blow the birds out in the second half? But no, they just were losing bad.
They just didn't have it.
Yes. And I was I was glad the score was not close at all because then people might have been oh, we barely won or whatever. No.
Yeah.
We threw them out of the park.
Yeah, no one all the Eagles haters I see online, they're pretty quiet right now.
Yeah.
So I love it. So we beat Brady and we beat Mahomes now. So it's everything's legit.
Yep.
But all right, I'm gonna get into how I even found you online because we're friends on Instagram.
Yes.
And it was mostly the cosplay that made me notice. This is a newer podcast, so booking guests is a process. and
Okay.
you're real easy to get. So I thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for asking me.
So were you always into this kind of stuff? Because I think I saw your Mystique cosplay.
Oh yeah. So that one I actually did in Philly. Like I told you, I'd be out there all the time. So
Yeah,
I worked with a body painter and makeup artist out there. So went out there. This was like a few years ago. She did my makeup, she did the wig, she did the entire body paint, and we went down to the art museum and we like took some photos there. We went over to South Street. We were like taking photos like down there and stuff. It was really cool and got like some content for like reels and like Instagram photos and
yeah,
stuff. But so cosplay actually became my pandemic hobby because I had a friend from college who wanted to shoot me. And I was like, well, I don't know like what we'll do for the shoot, like what the theme will be. And at the time I was like getting ready to cut my hair. And I was like, well, before I cut my hair, we can do Snow White because I won't have to wear a wig and my hair will just work for
yeah.
Snow White. So we did the shoot. The pictures came out fire. And I was like, shit. Like after that, I wanted to do Jessica Rabbit. I wanted to do Catwoman. And so I just kept coming up with all these ideas of like different characters I wanted to cosplay. And it was just very nostalgic for me because I would do all these characters from like shows or movies I watched growing up. And so I did all these photo shoots in the beginning. And then in 2021, I was like, well, now that I've done like all this cosplay and posted it on Instagram and made these cosplay friends online, I'm like, let me branch out and start going to Comic Cons. So 2021, I went to my first Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con, and I did a Sailor Moon cosplay and a Catwoman cosplay. And those were like characters that I like loved growing up. So
Yeah,
those were like
they're
perfect.
icons. I get it.
Yes, yes. And so it was great because I went by myself, but like you're more approachable at Comic Cons when you're alone. And so people were talking to me and stuff, and it was like such a vibe. And I was like, wow, like
You
this is
think
such an
so?
amazing, yeah. I was
You
like, this
think?
is such an amazing community. Like I just became like addicted.
Okay. It's funny because for me, maybe because I'm a guy, I feel like it's weirder. Like,
I mean, it might be a different experience for men and women, but yeah,
but
because I mean, I don't know. Like I've gone to cons in groups before, and like people are kind of afraid to approach you because they don't know, like, they don't know what
you
the
know what? You're
dynamic
right. You're
is.
right. I'm more likely to approach you if you're not with your friends and everybody, especially if I'm by myself. I'm like, I don't know because I got to cut through all these people. I get it.
Yeah. And it's like, it's such a great feeling because it's like, no matter if the person is white, black, green, orange, somebody can come up to you and be like, oh my God, I love your cosplay so much.
Yeah.
Like, Catwoman is my favorite character. And then y'all take a picture. And it's like, that moment is just so meaningful, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in this like climate of the country. Like, you know, it's a lot of like hate
Discord.
and racism and stuff. So it's like when you have those moments where you can just bond with another human and it's just genuine and pure,
Yeah.
like that's really special.
So did you always, you said something about Sailor Moon and Catwoman always liking them. Were you always into this kind of stuff or were you just more focused on certain characters?
So, like growing up, you know, we didn't really have like all of the female like heroes you might see today. Like, for
Yeah.
example, like Marvel Comics, like they have quite a few female heroes. But back in the day when like I'm a 90s baby, like I was born in 1990. So like growing up on those Batman movies where like all of the villains were women, you know, so,
Right.
like, those were, like, everything, like, you know, Poison Ivy, like, that was just iconic, you know, and Catwoman, she's kinda like an anti-hero, but,
Yeah.
like, those were the characters that always resonated with me, and, like, as a kid, we didn't really know we were watching anime, we're just like, "Oh, this is a cartoon," but, like, Sailor
Yeah.
Moon, classic, you know? Like, Sailor Moon just holds a special place in my heart now because 'cause I'm like, that was, like, my first anime, and now I don't really watch a ton of anime.
Same.
I'm more like a DC Comics girl. Like, I be caping for DC, but the TV shows, because the movies aren't good anymore. Like, and back in the day, they were good. Now I'm like,
Well,
Marvel movies are better.
so you're in luck. The DC movie should be good again.
I mean, we'll
So,
see. We'll
like,
see.
I'm really hopeful. And I'm a Marvel guy first, but I'm not a loyalist. So,
Yeah,
I think now that they got Marvel's guy,
yeah. I
I
mean,
think they'll be all right.
I think that, like, DC, I feel like the movies haven't been good because they always try so hard not to be Marvel. Like, they try to, like,
Yeah,
tone down the humor to the
yeah,
point that it's just like, what is going on here? Like, The Flash was
yeah.
horrible. The Batman with Robert Pattinson was horrible. And I went to
You
the
didn't like
movie
that one?
and I did not. I went to the movie and
That's one of my favorite
cosplay. I
movies.
was, huh?
Yeah, I love that movie.
I did not. I did not.
Is it too grungy and depressing for you?
So for me, and everybody has different reasons.
Sure.
For me, I felt like in the marketing of the movie, they really played up Catwoman's role and made it seem like she was going to be relevant to the movie, but she really wasn't. And in the beginning of the movie, like, I was thinking she was a lesbian because she was like looking for her friend. Like
Yeah.
the chemistry between Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson, like it wasn't there. So like when they had that first kiss, I'm like, this seems very forced and like they're both not feeling it. And like the thing with these superhero movies, there's always like that like romance, aspect. And like
Yeah.
that wasn't there. I mean, the movie
No reason.
was kind of dark, but like one of my friends raised a good point when we were talking about it, and she was like, it's more accurate to the comics when he was first becoming a detective. I didn't like, and this is like just a stupid, like girly opinion, but I didn't like that like you're playing a superhero and you're a twig. Like Robert Pattinson, his body was like not giving. Like, where's the abs, where's the muscles? And in the first fight scene, he tasered somebody. I'm like, what do I have to look for the rest of the movie if you tasered somebody in the first fight scene? Like, how are you really fighting for real?
That's
But I know.
funny. That's funny. I would have never thought of that, but okay. Those are not reasons I would have thought of, but it doesn't have to be. They're valid.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
It's funny that you said, like, this is why I'm trying to have more women guests on, because one, I think women, especially Black women, get their opinions get discarded.
Yeah, because I mean, even with you asking me to be on the podcast, I was like, I wonder if he's gonna be like quizzing me, like, what
Does that
happened
happen to you?
on this episode of My Hero Academia, like blah blah blah, like because sometimes dudes, like if a woman says they like anime or like any kind of fandom, like dudes are like, okay, well if she doesn't know all the answers to every single question I have, then she's not a real fan. But it's like,
Yeah.
right, and we're all fans for different reasons. Like I said, I like DC Comics, so I've been watching Creature Commando. I've been watching Harley Quinn, like that Harley Quinn, the anime and the Harley Quinn like cartoon on HBO Max. Bomb.
I
That's the
agree.
kind of stuff I like. But a lot of people, like anime like Chainsaw Man, and that's just a little bit too violent and gory for me. Like that's not what I like. I'm like a more rainbow than butterflies kind of girl. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't watch stuff like that. I
I
tried.
mean,
It wasn't for me.
one, you gotta stay within yourself, like know yourself. Two, I think it's weird that the whole fandom thing, like when you quiz someone, like I have friends, they don't mean to be, but some of them are like, people hate these movies because they don't know the comics. That can be true to an extent, but I'm like, some people just don't like things.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be knowledgeable in something to like something. Like I don't know much about Creature Commandos. I enjoy it. Am I less of a fan? Like I never like in my friend group, I'm the one who knows everything. I don't think I've ever heard of Creature Commandos like before they were announced.
Yeah, and it's like a newer show, and I hadn't heard of it, and I was like, what is this? Let me watch it. But like, even with Kite Man, when that first came out, I was like, this shit is gonna be trash. Like when I saw they were marketing that instead of like giving any of the other characters from Harley Quinn like their own show, I'm like, Kite Man, why does he matter? But it was funny because it seemed to me like it was kind of a test where DC was like, let's play around with something nobody's really going to care about and then see how the ratings are. Because once I started watching it, I'm like, yo, Kite Man is funny as shit. Like this
Is it
whole
good?
show. Huh?
Is it as good as like Harley Quinn? Is like in that it's that same universe, right?
I wouldn't say it's as good because Harley Quinn, like, it's just so sexual and so inappropriate and so funny. And Kite Man isn't really like on that level because they're
Yeah.
still they're building, it's still new. But it was funny to me and I was like, damn, I wouldn't have watched this off my own perception just thinking it was gonna be trash, but then I gave it a chance. And like DC always gets me with the TV shows. Like there's just been like, okay, even a lot of people don't like CW shows. I like CW shows.
See?
Like, yeah, I liked The Flash. I liked Black Lightning. I liked Legends of Tomorrow, Jessica Jones. Like, well, Jessica Jones was Netflix, not CW.
But
But
she's
like,
Marvel.
huh?
She's Marvel, I think.
Yeah, and she was on Netflix, not
Yeah.
CW. But like the CW shows, like some of them, not all of them, like I've liked. So I'm like, but I feel like Marvel really excels with movies. Like,
Absolutely.
I didn't really get into a lot of the Marvel TV shows, but like the Marvel movies usually are like really good. They're really funny. But with DC movies, like in the past couple years, I've just been disappointed. And I'm like, I didn't really feel that way with the TV shows. I feel like they just do TV better. It's, something they're pushing out quicker, but movies, they have these larger budgets and it's like a big deal. And I feel like they just dropped the ball a lot.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you another cosplay question. Who was your favorite person you cosplayed?
Oh my God, I get asked that a lot and it's so hard because there's not just one character. It's
So
like
give me
5.
three. Or give me 5 then, because I
Okay.
don't really like ranking things myself, actually.
Okay. So Foxy Love from Drawn Together. Okay,
Awesome show.
you know Drawn Together. A lot of
Yeah.
people forgot all about it or they've never seen it.
By
But
Cree Summer, the best,
yes,
one of the
yes,
best voice actresses ever.
yes. Okay, so I've done Foxy Love a couple times. I love
Mm-hmm.
her. She's just so ignorant and funny. Like such a great cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Very sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So my hair used to be longer and I would wear my hair in buns all the time. So I did like so many different versions of Chun-Li. That was a lot of fun. Catwoman is like my staple. And I was doing Catwoman first, and then everybody was like, you have to do Black Cat. And I'm like, no, I'm Team DC. I'm not doing a Marvel cosplay, blah, blah, blah. And then I started researching Black Cat, and I was like, oh, I like her story. And so I ended up like doing Black Cat cosplays, and like I really like doing Black Cat and Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon was like one of my first. So that's just like
Correct.
a special cosplay for me.
Is she your favorite character from that franchise?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Even though she's a crybaby, like as I watch it, like now that I'm older, I'm like, I guess as a kid, I didn't really pay attention to all the crying she did, but now I'm like, damn, she's annoying as shit. Like, she be saving the day, but like crying her ass.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I mean, she probably that's anxiety low key because
It is.
she's already like looking back. I think she had ADHD.
So I think she always says, like, in her intros, like, I'm Usagi, I'm a Cancer, and Cancers are water signs, and water signs are super emotional. So, like, for her to be a crybaby, like, it's on brand with, like,
Got it.
astrology, you know?
Got it. See,
Yeah.
I said the ADHD thing because she was a slacker in school.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So a lot of times, because I'm in school to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So we are forced to learn these things. And I work with kids that have autism and stuff. So I look at IEPs and stuff all the time. And I said that to say, where was I going? That's what happens when you talk so much. Basically,
You're knowledgeable of different health conditions that might impact somebody's like
So
learning capability.
yeah, so it's like she's already a slacker and now she got to save the world.
Yeah.
So like that's the way I looked at it. But I also gotta say I probably watched like 7 episodes in the past few years. Like my first Sailor Moon watch was like, and I watched it through on like 2003, so I don't remember it that well.
There's nothing wrong with that because I mean, at least you're a little older. Because I had to start watching again because I was like, I liked this as a kid. Let me try to like reinvigorate some of these memories
Yeah.
like into adulthood.
Wait. Funny question. How old do you think I am?
Well, I mean, you said you're in school, so I don't know. Are you in your 20s?
I'm 30. I'm at the age where I kind of forgot. 33. So I'm born 91.
At the age where you kind of forgot that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 34 next month.
Okay. Happy
So
early birthday.
what's that?
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You're
You gotta
welcome.
tell me what the Pisces stuff is later because I'm not good with the sign things.
Y'all are water signs too. There's definitely like some emotional like stuff with Pisces. Like
Okay.
it's funny too because like I feel like every Pisces man I have met, they've been like very intense in the beginning, like just like gaslighting with love. Like it's like a weird thing. But water signs just are not afraid to like present their emotions, whereas like other signs might be like more reserved and like they might really, really like you, but you ain't gonna know because they're gonna kind of hide it because they don't want, to get their feelings hurt or whatever. But
Okay.
I have some girlfriends who are Pisces and they're great, but like they definitely love hard. They love really, really hard.
Okay. And I'm African, so in West Africa they try to marry you in 90 days.
Really?
That's the stereotype. I don't know if that's true, but that's like a
Wow.
joke.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but whatever. Okay. Let me see. This last cosplay question, then I'll move on to a different topic. So how do you go about making the costumes? Do you buy the parts? Do you just buy them? Because I just buy mine, to be honest. I'm not trying to make nothing.
So honestly, a lot of what I do is like summertime cosplays where it ain't a whole lot of fabric covering a
Yeah.
whole lot of body parts. So it's really easy for me to just source those things from like Amazon. Um, as far as like building cosplays, I haven't really had to do that besides when I did Foxy Love the first time because I couldn't find like a Foxy Love like tail and hat to buy from a certain place. So I kind of crafted that myself just out of
That's
like
cool.
different things that I found. But as far as making things, that's been like the only cosplay that I've made. And I mean, it's really
Mistake?
easy to, oh, Mystique. Okay. So the body painter that kind of created that cosplay for me, she actually, painted my skin, but she used like some fabric to do certain patterns to like make it look like Mystique.
And she was from Philly, right? Or she was from your way?
She's from Philly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So she bought the wig, but she kind of had to style the wig to make it look like Mystique, so cut it in a certain way, style it and everything. She did the makeup. She painted my body, but she used fabric to make the paint kind of resemble like Mystique's skin. And
Okay.
so the cool thing with that cosplay was I met the body painter at Fan Expo Philly, which is a Comic-Con out there.
You went to the last one?
Yeah, I've gone like, I think it was like the last 3 years I've gone.
Are you coming
Yeah.
to this one?
Oh yeah,
I'll
I
see
like
you
to
there
go.
then, because I'm
Yeah,
going.
I'll see you there. I like to go every year. That's one of my
Okay.
favorites. So like I met her there and that year I did Spider-Man and she cosplayed the mask and she had done like her face and everything herself, like with prosthetics and stuff. And I was like, yo, that's fire. Like, so we just started talking and stuff and talking about working together and everything. And I was like, I really want to do a Mystique cosplay, but the only way to do it is body paint is her skin. So doing that as clothes doesn't make sense because she
Yeah.
was naked.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, yes, we should collab. We should do it or whatever. And so eventually we did that. Like we did that project together. So like that was really cool.
So how long did that take? You kind of said it earlier, but I have ADHD, so I forgot.
Body paint is so time consuming.
Yeah.
It was an all day affair. Like I left Maryland, I want to say at like 10 in the morning. She did like the, I think like my face, the wig. We put the contacts in first because I had the yellow contacts. She did the body paint. I'd wear like really high heels for cosplay. So I had to like put those on. We did the body paint. I would say like minimum like 4 hours. And it probably was longer than that just to get that whole stuff done. But yeah, that took like a good chunk of the day. Then we went over to the art museum. We went over to South Street. By this point, it's like getting dark outside. And so
Yeah.
then we had to go back to her house and wash all that off because I'm not about to drive 2 hours home blue,
Yeah.
with yellow contacts in my eyes.
Yeah.
So she literally scrubbed me in the bathtub, like to get all of this blue off my body from every crevice where there was blue. Like the washing it off almost felt like it was as long as painting my body. So I only did it one other time after that, but
Yeah.
it is very time consuming. So like an all day thing, really.
I like how women could do that because I would never have my male friend scrub me down. Like, I think I'm just going from blue. Even if it's 3 hours and I'm mad in the car.
But the thing is, you probably need the help because you can't look behind your back and see every part where you still might be blue. So you need the assistance, and I live by myself. So if I came home, wouldn't nobody be helping me get the blue?
I have a back scrubber. Nah, I'm making excuses. See, that's that toxic masculinity we talking about because I don't want to accept no type of help.
Right?
Man, okay. Hold up, I got these questions on the list. Do you think your experience as a Black woman impacts your cosplay experience?
So I feel like my experience is a little bit different than other people's experience because like I'm what you would call a lewd cosplayer. So my stuff is like more on the sexy side. I'm not the one who's like building cosplays that take like 700 hours over the course of like a year to, build like this Transformers type thing to go with.
Right.
I don't do that. So like what I do is more sexy. So like as far as the interactions that I have with people at Comic Cons and like on social media, they're typically positive. So I haven't gotten like,
That's good.
I mean, knock on wood, because this current
Crazy world.
political climate, you never
Yeah.
know. But like, I haven't gotten the comments where people are like, "Why would you cosplay Chun-Li? You're not Asian.
Right.
Why would you cosplay Sailor Moon? You're not white." The thing is, if we limited ourselves to only the Black characters that we could cosplay, I mean, Storm, Foxy Love, I'm struggling for others,
Right.
like,
Black Lightning.
very limited. So, like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's not that much for women. Like,
yeah. So the thing is,
shoot, you're
cosplay
right.
cosplay is about showing your appreciation for a certain character. So,
Right.
if I love Chun-Li and I don't do it in a way that's disrespectful to the Asian culture, it's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. But if I was a white person and I'm cosplaying Black Lightning and I'm in blackface, painting my face black to be happy,
Right.
it becomes disrespectful. But like, if you don't do anything that's disrespectful, it's just about your love for that character. So like, I've never done anything where I felt like I was being disrespectful to like another race of people.
Okay. So that's good. So you usually have appropriate interactions, it seems like.
Mhm.
Um, online, that's usually normal for you, or you just know what to respond to?
I mean, I can't recall where anybody has been like, disrespectful or like racist about my cosplays, but it's like, I'm gonna attract a certain type of like viewer on social media.
Right.
It's like the people who kind of want to see the more sexy cosplays. And if you don't want to see it, you don't have to follow. You can keep scrolling. Like,
That's the beauty of it, but some people don't know how to. But so
yeah,
far, it seems like that's what's happening. So I'm afraid it keeps going.
yeah, me too.
So, who do you think you want to do next?
Next, huh? Okay, so I have a con coming up in March,
Is it
and
BlurCon?
huh?
BlurCon?
Yes. You're going to BlurCon?
Well, no, my beef with BlurCon.
Your
It's not.
beef?
It's
Oh
not. It's not real
God.
beef. It's not real beef. I just wanted to sound dramatic. My birthday's March 9th.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I almost never go.
Okay, but they just changed it to March this year. All the other years, like the last few, because I've been, what is it,
Yeah, I
3
didn't know it was a
years?
thing all like that.
Oh, okay.
So when I knew about it one year, that's the year I got married.
Hmm.
Was out the picture. I was saving money.
Yeah.
Then COVID was the next year. Kind of wasn't really worried about cons because I didn't think that was a thing. I don't think they were.
Yeah.
So I guess when they came back, maybe they did it after a normal date for 1 year, and then they changed it to March, if I'm correct.
It was July last year. It was July the year before that. And I'm trying to remember if
You
I've
sure it
been
wasn't
to,
March last year? Because I thought that's the reason I didn't go.
no, it wasn't. This is the first year it's March. Yeah.
Then I was just being, then I wasn't paying attention. So never mind, my bad, BlurCon. I'm pretty fake beef. I'm Drake.
No, not baby. So yeah, I kind of don't want to reveal my cosplays. Okay,
No, no, you don't have to then. You don't have to.
okay. Well, just not the BlurCon ones, because like BlurCon is like honestly like my favorite, and I know everybody has their own favorite cons for different reasons or whatever. But I love the culture. It's like a family reunion where you actually like the family. Like I'm so hyped to go to BlurCon. I have some cosplays planned for that. It's horror themed, so
Okay.
one of my cosplays is Squid Games related, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go into detail about what
No,
it
you don't have
is,
to.
because I do things like in a really different way. So I feel like the way I'm doing it, nobody else is gonna do it that way, and that's why I don't want to tell before I
Got it.
actually,
You know what?
put
I
it out
should
there.
have known that because I got a cool cosplay and I could tell you off air, but
Uh-huh.
it's something people aren't expecting me to do because
Exactly.
I kind of get typecast being the comic guy in my friend group. Because
You know.
believe it or not, I didn't grow up with a lot of people. No, I'm saying that wrong. A lot of my high school and adult friends,
Hmm.
I'm one of the only ones who care about this stuff this much.
Oh yeah.
So they typecast me. They either assume I'm not into cosplay or they just know me not to be into it at all. No one knows that I'm like kind of in the middle
Yeah.
because I'm a skinny guy. So like I don't got to put much onto it. I just order something from one of these cosplay sites. It's skin tight and I can rock with it.
And it fits
It
already.
fits.
You good to go.
Yeah. And like I'm already built like Spider-Man anyway. So like and I don't mean like, the 90s Spider-Man. I'm talking about like the 16-year-old teenager one.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm definitely built like even Tim Holland's bigger than me probably.
Oh, gosh.
I mean weight wise, but it's like you wouldn't be able to see it. Like if you
Yeah.
saw me, you'd be like, "Are you 110?" Although I'm not, but that's the physique I give off.
110? That's less than me.
No, like people really think I'm a twig, and I compare to them I am, but I'm not as light as they say. Like I'm allowed to get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. I know he
Okay.
would trash me, but that's not the point here. But yeah. So I should have thought that through, but my point was I got a cosplay coming up for
Mhm.
Fan Expo that people are not expecting. And
Nice.
what I do every year now is I wear it to work. Since I work with elementary school kids, they're always like, "What's happening here?"
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so recently, so like for years actually, I was substitute teaching and I recently left the school system. But I was subbing for like 8 years. And so for Halloween last year, I did Miss Frizzle for the kids. And it was just so funny because like the kids would be like, Miss Frizzle, or they'd be like, Magic School Bus. Like they didn't expect to see a teacher coming. But I
Yeah,
was so hyped being a cosplayer. I'm like, this is my day. I literally like requested off from my full-time job so I could be off work and do whatever I wanted to do for Halloween. And a part of that is going to school to substitute teach and wear these cosplays.
that's
So I,
awesome.
yes. And I think the year before that I did Chun-Li. Um, Funny thing is, because I do like lewd cosplays, I was like, what the hell can I do that's appropriate to wear around children? So I
That's
had to
funny.
buy I had to buy some new stuff, but
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that was my problem with Spider-Man because it's like skin tight. But I'm like Derek, like they can't see
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
So like I had to get certain
A
I
cup.
can't think of the word. I had to get something to put under so that way I can not attract the wrong attention
Yes. Yeah.
from my superiors.
Yeah. That's
So
important.
yeah,
Because for me, like, I'm like, okay, well, if I need to cover my entire body, Catwoman. But that's definitely a skin tight cosplay. And I'm like, even if it covers my whole body, just the fabric, I'm like, probably not appropriate to wear at
yeah,
school. Chun-Li was cool because I just threw some leggings under that. And then when I did Miss Frizzle, I'm like, that's just a dress. So that's
yeah.
perfectly fine.
See, I had to get ballerina underwear.
Ballerina underwear?
Basically, like male ballerina underwear or male dancer
Oh.
underwear.
So like compression, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
because boxer's not gonna do it under a Spider-Man costume. No, so yeah, that's what I put thought into. The year before I knew about the special underwear, I just put on shorts over my costume, wore a hoodie like
Okay.
Miles.
That's smart, though. That's smart.
I mean, I kind of hated it because I was so skinny. The shorts looked baggy.
Damn.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. It just
But I mean, it works for Miles though, so
it
that's
works for
actually
Miles.
the perfect cosplay.
Yeah, it worked, and I put some Jordans on. It worked.
Mhm.
All right, so I had a question right now, and I know now DC is your main thing. That's your main fandom. That's your main inspiration usually.
Mhm.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask you this: what's a non-nerdy hobby or interest you have that people might not expect?
Non,
I
non.
guess I mean like people who just see your Instagram and is like, well, obviously she might be into these fictional things. What's a non-fictional thing you're into?
Okay, so
Show, movie, interest, anything.
at first I had to think, I'm like, what don't people know since I, post a lot on social media? But what a lot of people won't know is my background is in journalism. So when I graduated college, I actually used to write for a newspaper. So my like non-nerdy hobby was like writing. So I wrote news. I don't do it anymore. Now I'm a flight
Well,
attendant and
how
you
you like
know,
that?
you have your good and your bad days. Cause like right now,
Yeah.
we just had those two plane crashes. I know one was like a smaller aircraft, one was a commercial aircraft, but that was really scary just to know that I have to keep getting on planes and like
Right.
any day something like that can happen. But for the most part, that's not how I think. Like a couple weeks ago, I took my brother with me to Hawaii and we're twins and he had never been to Hawaii
You're a
before.
twin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
my brother, I work on the West Coast, even though I live on the East. And so my brother lives on the West Coast. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, you should call out of work on Monday and come with me to Hawaii this weekend. And he was like, all right. And so I flew him out to, where I work or whatever. And we got on the flight and he was a passenger on the flight. I was working to Hawaii. And so then we get to the hotel And, the company pays for that or whatever. So, like, we have 24 hours to basically, like, hang out at the beach and go to the pool and go to all these restaurants and stuff and just eat all this food and stuff. And he had never really got to see, like, the way I live my life when I'm working. So it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. And I've been flying 8 years and I had never brought anyone on a layover with me. And that was the first time it just worked out. So I was like so excited that my brother could come with me. So it was, yeah, it was really dope.
I think I've seen that, but it's like, I don't know your life. So I was just like, oh, she in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, see, you be talking, I'll be cutting you off. So now I forgot what my next question was.
That's okay.
So, okay. So I had another question, but you answered that. You said BlurCon's your favorite convention, right?
Yes, it is. But there's also some other cons that I really like. So I went to San Diego Comic-Con. I believe that was like 2 years ago.
You went to that one?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go to San Diego Comic-Con. My work mom, it was actually a gift from her and her husband, and they like got the badges and the hotel and everything. So I'm like so grateful for that experience because I don't know that it ever would have worked out in my schedule and like financially because it's really expensive to go out there and
That's
stuff.
like the main one.
Yeah, but oh my God, it was amazing. Like just for like how big it is, they have like different neighborhoods for like each fandom. So you got like your Capcom neighborhood, your Marvel neighborhood, your DC neighborhood. There was like a blockbuster section. I think it was like, was there Cartoon Network or something? Like there was just so many different fandoms. And I was like, damn, this is crazy. And so I ran to my DC neighborhood and there were like all these girls. Like I did Harley Quinn as Robin from one of the episodes of Harley Quinn on HBO Max. There was a girl who did the Joker. There was a girl who did Catwoman. And I think there was a Batgirl. And we just found each other. And we all started taking pictures together. And then everybody came and was taking pictures of us together. And it was just so dope. Another con, and it's not even Comic-Con really, but another con I like is called Exotica. And it's an adult con. So it's
I know
like,
Exotica.
yeah. So Exotica, they know me there. Like Exotica, I'd be there like almost every year.
Is that out west?
Huh?
Is that out west?
No, that's on the East Coast. They have DC, Miami, Chicago, New Jersey. I feel like, am I forgetting a city? I might be forgetting one city.
So multi-city. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I usually go to DC. I've been to New Jersey and I've been to the Chicago one. Okay. But that one is fun just because like I already do lewd cosplay. So at Exotica, it's like, you can wear barely nothing and like they'll have like, porn stars that you can meet. It'll be girls from like strip clubs, like dancing on poles and stuff. They'll have different competitions on the stage.
Really?
They have vendors. Yeah, they have vendors that sell like sex toys or like cute lingerie and like little outfits and stuff like that. So it's just a fun one to go to. So I like that too. Okay. But as far as like Comic-Con, I feel like BlurCon is in my top spot just because of like those friendships that I built there. People that like live all over the country and like luckily I get to see them because of my job as a flight attendant. So I'll go do layovers and like visit these friends. But then BlurCon, you also have the chance to just see people that maybe you followed on Instagram for like 2 years and never met in person, and then boom, they're BlurCon and it's like, yo, and it's like you really know them for real, even though y'all hadn't met in person yet. Like it's just a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is for me. Like, I have a frequent guest on here. Shout out to Dan. He how did we meet? We were playing Super Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. There was a tournament. I'm not going to say who won, but there was a tournament. It ended, and I think we just followed. Like this was back almost 10 years ago now, so Facebook was still a thing for us. Follow add them on Facebook and follow on Instagram, and basically that's a long way of saying I feel you what you're saying. Like you just connect with people so heavy there. Mm-hmm. So okay. So what are you watching these days?
So, okay. The first thing that popped into my head, not even like comic book related, but Abbott Elementary. And I love
Abbott.
I love when I'm in Philly for work and I'm like, let me turn on Abbott Elementary and watch it in Philly. I'm so corny, but
feel that though.
Yeah.
Side note, I don't just like on my social media. I do a lot of shirts for anyone listening that doesn't know. I do a lot of reels and TikToks. Mm-hmm. I cover like just regular sitcoms too. Since the Black History Month, I'm actually launching my I'm doing my 10 favorite black sitcoms since 2000, because I feel like as 90s babies and people older than us, they have a point. They're like, just not good black sitcoms anymore. I just think they're harder to find because there's too much TV out there with all that streaming apps.
Yeah,
so definitely. I just want to bring awareness to that, because I think black creators now, no matter what kind of creator you are, you should get your flowers while you have a chance.
Period. Yeah.
So, Abbott Elementary is an awesome one.
It is. And like, I feel like Abbott Elementary is the office for black people. Like, just like the vibe of it. And like, first of all, like, as somebody who has worked in education, I'm like, the episodes are just especially funny to me because of like, especially that Halloween episode when the kids were coming into the classroom and she's like checking their cosplays. Like, the white boy was like, Wakanda forever. She's like, just for today. And make sure you keep that mask on. I died. Like,
I actually thought of that earlier. I was going to bring that up, but I didn't want to cut you off because I do that with my guests. When you have brought up when, you know, like wearing Chun-Li and respecting their culture while having a limited pool as a black woman.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, white people wear Black Panther costumes, because out here in the Philly suburbs, I see little white kids just wear Black Panther. But I'm like, you know what? I'm good with that, because I grew up with the Red Ranger, and he was my hero, and he was white.
Yeah.
Partly because there wasn't Black Red Rangers yet.
Right.
But he just likes a character. I'm like, you know what? Let them just experience liking a person that they don't look like.
And racism doesn't start in children. That's learned. So like, if they like a character, you know, like me as a kid watching Sailor Moon, it didn't dawn on me that she was white. I wasn't ever thinking about the fact she was white, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm just like, oh my God, she like transforms and puts her hand in the air and then her nails are red. And like, you know, it's the glamour of it all. Like, nobody's like, oh, she's white, I can't relate to her. Like, that's what we grew up on. And with this newer generation and all of the streaming apps out there and stuff, and the way that diversity is like so important, like, you know, they're going to see way more black faces. Like, we didn't grow up having a black Spider-Man. If you liked Spider-Man, it was Peter Pan Spider-Man. Like, we didn't have the Miles Morales movies, and he's a cartoon. So we're not even on the level yet of having like a live action Miles Morales. And they keep delaying the movie. I'm so mad. They delayed it until 2029. I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna almost be 40. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. Like, it's been years since the last one. And, you know, I get it. We don't want to rush a product, but come on.
I know. Like, I was so excited because it's like it ended on a cliffhanger. I'm like, I want to see what's going to happen next. You know,
getting it the next
God willing, I'm going to still be here to watch the next movie. But I'm like, come on, let's go.
It pisses me off because when I feel like in the late 2010s, when they started doing the part 1, part 2 movies, they usually came out a year later. Like when Harry Potter split up their 2 movies, it came out the next year or maybe months later.
Yeah, there weren't very long gaps.
Yeah. Infinity War, Thanos won, and we saw Thanos lose the next year. So I get it, but I'll be patient, I guess. What choice do I got?
We can't do nothing else.
Yeah.
So wait.
What else are you watching besides Abbott? Anything stick out?
So Harley Quinn, there's a new season of Harley Quinn on right now, so I'm watching that. I've been watching this other show on Hulu called High Potential, and it's
I know High Potential.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, cool. With the girl from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. Okay. Like her fashion sense is just like so cool to me. I'm like, how do you work in the police department and you come in here every day in these like thigh-high boots and this little mini skirt? It's such a vibe. So I like it for her fashion, but also because she's just really, really smart. And like, she's the one who solves the crimes in like every single episode. And so I kind of got like sucked in because I was able to binge watch a bunch of it. And now that I watched like a bunch of episodes, I'm like, I gotta wait every week and just watch one because I'm all caught up. But I've been enjoying that show as well.
Okay, I saw the commercial. The season finale is coming up, so I kind of gotta catch up.
Oh yeah,
because of the nature of podcasting, I watch too many shows, and I decided to be the kind of nerd that watches. I'm like a film, TV nerd, and a comic nerd, so it's too much content.
You have a lot to do on your free time, basically.
Yeah, so like people be like, "Oh, I'm bored." I'm like, my side hustle doesn't let me be bored.
Nah, it's always something to do. I feel like there's probably some other shows that I'm watching that I just can't think of at the moment.
We have too much content to think about, like because I'm sure you get this. Like to make your content, it took so much time that like for those days you were making them.
Mhm.
We work because we're millennials. We work. We pay attention to social media. Like these shows are competing with TikTok and Instagram. Like some people read comics, read books, watch TV. It's too much to keep up with.
Yeah, and it's like hard when you get into something and then it gets canceled because like I might really like something. It doesn't mean I'm gonna remember to watch it every single week because every week is different for me with work and stuff. And like sometimes I might be too tired to watch TV. Sometimes I literally don't have the time. It's just like yeah, like things shift like week to week. So I'm like, y'all be canceling stuff. And then, for example, like Insecure, I didn't even get into that until like everybody else had already watched it. And then eventually I needed something to watch. And I was like, oh my God, this show is so good. Why didn't I watch it when it was on TV? And so I got to binge like all of those seasons. And then there was that other show that Issa Rae created. Why can't I remember the name? It was
The rap one, right?
Rap
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yes.
That
That
hurt my
show was
heart.
fucking good. It was so good. But
Yeah.
they canceled that too. I'm like, dog, it was left on a cliffhanger. I wanted to know what was going to happen.
That pissed me off. That's the thing
Yes.
with that's the thing. They have these shows that aren't as they make too many shows because this is where I become the political Derek. But only 4 networks own most of these shows. Now 5 because of Netflix. So it's like these 5 networks are making all these shows. Like if you go on Netflix, every Friday they make 20 new shows.
And they want everything to like instantly be popular.
It
And
doesn't
that's
work
not the
that
way
way.
it works because a lot of stuff, it has to travel through word of mouth for like it
Yeah,
to really get that viewership. And if
yeah,
y'all are canceling it so fast, by the time people are talking about it, it's gone off TV. I'm like,
right.
there was a show I used to watch called Vegas to LA, and it was about flight attendants that worked on this route where they were flying from Vegas to LA. And it was created by Fox Network, and they were basically trying to get it to be no, I'm confusing it with something else. But like the show was really good. It only lasted, was it 1 season or 2? And then they canceled it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, same thing happened with Pan Am, which had Margot Robbie and Christina Ricci.
I
They're
remember
like
that show.
really big name actresses. They wanted that to piggyback off the popularity of Desperate Housewives, which was a completely different show.
Yeah,
But they canceled Pan Am. And I'm like, dog, I'm a flight attendant. I liked that show, just like I liked Vegas to LA, which was also about flight attendants. But I be working. I can't tune in every week and watch this, but I can binge it. So keep
yeah,
coming from episodes and I will watch them. I just can't watch everything Tuesday night at
yeah.
7 p.m. or whatever.
Like they're marketing it to millennials who work a lot. So it's like give the millennials a chance to catch up. Like wait till the show doesn't pick up. Like after a couple of years, then cancel it. Like because a lot of people just binge it. So I think it's weird that they just cancel these shows. Like they're like, oh, 2 million views is enough. Like no show's getting 20 million views no more. Like we have so much channels and platforms now, and we're busier than we ever been in this country.
For back in the day when we basically brought back the game because that was on
Yeah,
like UPN, which was then CW, and everybody loved it. Because first of all, CW, they would run them episodes back over and over
yeah,
and over and over and over
yeah,
and over and over. So you got to love it because if you have cable in your room and you had the basic channels, you were growing up watching everything on CW. One Tree Hill, 90210,
yeah.
Gossip Girl, like
He was
all
running
of it.
CW girl.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely a CW girl. So, but
I also CW guy, so I feel you.
my brother and I would be in different bedrooms watching the same shows at the
For
same
sure.
time.
Okay.
It was crazy, but like, you know, we had all these shows and you could see these episodes over and over and over. And so with the game, everybody was like, this show was good. Y'all canceled it for what? And then BET got it.
Well, that's because what happened was BET, their reruns scored really well. So people who weren't watching CW, because, some people have cable, they're like, oh, I'm not watching the non-cable shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it caught a different audience.
Yeah.
And I said the scores, the views were really high. So,
But the problem with CW, with BET getting it was when the game was on CW, it was a comedy.
yes,
When
BET made it a
BET got it,
drama.
they turned it into a drama.
Yep.
And it was just too serious.
It was
like,
too serious.
and then you didn't bring back the main characters that the whole show was about. And you were trying to like float the show on supporting characters, which like their roles were still important, but they couldn't carry the show the way Melanie and Derwin carried the show.
Yeah.
Their characters, you know? So I stopped. I remember the night that new episode came on BET and how we had a whole party at my friend's house to watch that.
It should
like
be an event.
Baked chicken and everything.
Yeah.
We had food and stuff, drinks and all that to rewatch this show. And when the first episode came out, we were all like, we don't like it. That sucked.
So you
I don't
jumped off the game
remember.
early. Like, you didn't do the BT episodes as much.
I remember watching that first one, and then I might have seen like bits and pieces, you know, while it was on BET. But after the first episode was that disappointing, I don't recall like tuning in for like a lot of those episodes because I was like, it's not the same.
That's fair. It didn't dawn on me because I was just watching it because to me, it was a weekly event. I remember I used to get on Twitter and Facebook and people be all talk about the same thing. Then I think I was thinking about it recently. I'm like, yo, the game actually is a comedy because it's a spinoff from Girlfriends.
Yep, it is. Because
underrated show, by the way.
Melanie was Joan's niece on that last episode. Yeah. Well, on the like pilot episode of the game.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it definitely was. It became more a drama and less of a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start to wrap this up soon. Okay, that'll basically all the questions. So let's do this. So where can people follow your work and support you at?
So I am on Instagram at Cosplay X Twerk. I don't really use Twitter or like Snapchat or like anything like that. So
okay,
Instagram is really my thing.
There you go. I mean, I think Instagram is like, especially for our age group. Look at me stuttering. It's the main driver of attention. I think so. Like, I'm on TikTok, but I can't assume someone has TikTok, but I can always bet on them having Instagram, so I get it.
Yeah, I don't pay attention enough to actually be on TikTok, and I deleted the app once I thought it was never coming back, and then it came back, and not really big on Twitter. Like, Instagram is just easy. I'm like, you know, this is simple. It's what I've been using for years. Like, I'm good on it.
Yeah, you post your pictures, you post your stories, whatever reels you got. I agree. To me, Instagram is the easiest, but
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm more of a photo girl, even though that's not what social media cares about anymore. Yeah. But Instagram is really the only platform for that. Everything else is reels or like.
It's funny that you say that. Your photos get decent attention.
Oh, I'm saying like, but reels is what like all these apps.
Right. They want reels because like the way for me, how am I trying to put this? I used to get a good amount of photos. I'm all over the place. I used to get a decent amount of attention on my photos. Now they don't even shoot my photos out. Like the algorithm, they only push my reels out. And I'm like, oh shoot, that's my fault for committing the reels. Now they don't want me to post photos. So if I was to say, oh, today I'm talking to D.L. Hughley today on my podcast, I get likes. I'm like, oh, all right. But when I do a reel of it, I'm more likely to get attention. So to your point, you're correct. They are pushing the whole idea of reels. But I mean, that proves even more that your content's dope.
And sometimes we just do stuff for fun because I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, like I'll have all these memories to look back on. And if Instagram is not here when I'm like 65 or something, at least I have all of these photos from the photo shoots that could actually be printed out and I could put them in a little album or whatever. But the reels, I'm not going to be able to have to transition later in the future.
That's true. And it's like, do I need to sit here watching my own reels anyway? Like, how many times do I record something and really rewatch it that often? Like, I might when I run into it, but pictures is easy, so I get it.
That's a good point. I mean, like, I'll have a couple reels that I just think are really funny, so like I will laugh at them or whatever. But otherwise, it's like I don't rewatch them all the time because I'm like, that's from whatever week ago. Like, I'm not worried about that now.
See, personally, I'm tired of hearing I'm going to edit this. And I'm like, damn, Derek, like that was dumb. Like, why'd you say that? Cut. So I'm tired. I'll be tired. Sorry, my wife laughed as soon as I said that, and just know it to be laughing at me. So it just threw me off. But yeah, that was just my way of saying that I'm sick of hearing my own voice all the time because the editing, the reels, like I have to respond to people when they comment. So it's like all I do is hear myself talk.
That's why I like pictures, because I feel like when it's time for me to make reels, I just get very awkward on videos, and then I have to like reshoot, edit. And I'm like, if it's a photo, I can take 100 photos, hate
Take the
like
best
80 of
one.
them, but love 20, and then I
Yeah.
can rock with them 20 that I love or whatever.
Yeah.
But like with a video, it's just so much time that goes into it because of the editing process and everything.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, we're up on the hour. That's why I usually try to shoot for. So thanks for doing this. Whenever you're not flying, keeping people safe in the air, you gotta come back on.
Oh yeah, that would be so cool.
It don't gotta be soon, just whenever you can.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll see you at Fan Expo.
Fan Expo. Yep,
Okay.
I'll be there.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night. See you.
You too. Bye.
It's a wrap for the Avatar Slang podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Big shout out to Selina for coming through. All your listeners, hit follow, leave a review, and share the podcast. It's the best way to support, and it helps more people discover the show. YouTube viewers, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. More listeners means more episodes, so spread the word. Want to go a step further? Support the podcast at buymeacoffee.com/avatarslang. Every contribution helps bring you more great content. Links are in the YouTube description, podcast description, and my Instagram bio. Stay connected on Instagram and TikTok at avatarslang. That's avatar.slang. And share your thoughts on today's topics or anything I post on there. Thanks for being a part of the Slang Gang.